Hi, I'm Jessica Cummings, Marketing Director for LipChip LLC. We are an equine microchipping company out of Texas. Thank y'all for having us. I'm so sorry we couldn't join you in the actual beautiful venue that y'all have, but here from Texas at LipChip LLC, we have exciting news. First off, we have a superior placement for microchipping horses. We feel that the nuchal ligament is a great starting place for microchipping. However, we're seeing as much as 30% migration in horses, especially older horses where that ligament has spread out in the body. We're seeing them implanted and then finding them in their brisket. We're finding them even along the coronet bands, above their hooves. And so we feel that the superior placement, which we have patented in the upper mandible area, is the way to go. It actually is less painful when you inject the horse, and you also end up with less than 1% migration. So when the horse is microchipped, they're obviously going to have easier access to the scanner. So a horse is naturally curious. And so when they approach a foreign object, they do so with their nose. So this placement allows the horse to simply walk up to the scanner or be led up to the scanner and want to naturally just bump it with their nose. It's also a great placement for us in trailers, in stalls, in palpation stocks. And so whenever you need to go scan that horse, you're in a safer place. You're not having to stick your arm in a horse trailer, potentially get it pinned between the horse and the trailer, and you're able to just simply scan that horse and walk away without having to have as much contact. The upper mandible area is also a smaller surface area to scan. I'm sure you've seen at many horse-related events when they're looking for that microchip in that horse's neck, it's almost as though they're wanding the horse like they're going through airport security. And so frequently we see identifiers that are trying to find that chip and they're just going over the entire neck area. They're going down into the shoulder area, into the brisket area, trying to find that chip, and they're having a difficult time finding it. With our superior placement, we're able to simply approach the horse, scan the nose, and walk away, and you're done. The reason we founded LipChip is because we are horsemen first. Brad Bolen, our president and founder, he is a horse trainer and has been for over 30 years. And we work in this industry every single day. And we saw the issues that not just the racing industry was having, but also show horses, rodeo horses, breeding horses alike. They are having a terrible time, first and foremost, identifying horses, and then also keeping the integrity of performing. We're seeing a lot of cheating, we're seeing a lot of disease being spread, and we're also seeing a lot of misidentification where you can't tell one black horse from a second black horse because they have no markings. So what we're hoping to do is take the guesswork out of identification. Whenever we have a horse that is microchipped, whether it be in the lip or in the neck, you can use our scanners for either one. Our scanners are specifically developed in order to obtain a reading on both placements. Our scanners use patented Bluetooth technology to be able to identify that horse quickly and efficiently, and then be able to read that scan from a long distance from either a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer. And that scan unlocks data about each horse. So the scanning of the microchip is not the groundbreaking revolutionary technology. We have scanners. This is an RFID, and this is also a low frequency microchip. But what we do with that 15-digit number is what makes this incredible. We are able to read these scans and unlock this data from hundreds of yards away. We are able to take that information and access 4 photos of the horse, similar to what you would pull for an EIA or Coggins. We also have current paperwork on hand, such as a negative Coggins, a pyroplasmosis, or a health certificate that is uploaded only by authorized users. So first, you can identify the horse, and then second, you can make sure that that horse is authorized to travel in the region that they're in. Right now, we're having such an issue with in the US especially, we're seeing a lot of equine herpes outbreaks. We're seeing a lot of issues with positive coggins that could cause an entire racetrack or show venue to completely shut down. And so what we want to do is we want to eliminate the guesswork. No more falsifying your coggins because it expired. No more claiming that you got a health certificate whenever you forged it. This is all information that is uploaded only by authorized users and then stored in our secure database. The scan is simply unlocking this information and making it to where it cannot be tampered with. Now, the really great thing about this technology is now the sky's the limit. Now that you can unlock all of this information about a horse, what do you want to do next? Whether it be, let's get into breeding. Check follicle sizes, make sure that a mare is ready to have semen dropped, and order that semen all from our app. This is seamless work, but it all starts because you have the mare right in front of you and you know that that is the horse that you are working with. You scan them, you go into our application, and you're able to record all of this data for your veterinarian to retrieve later, for the owner of that horse to check at a later time, and for the trainer to be able to continue their work as well. You also have so many possibilities when checking horses into an equine event. Who has been stuck at a backside gate or a show venue and is sitting on the pavement for 3 to 4 hours with horses hot in the trailer because you can't get into an event? We are done with the guesswork of having to check horses into an event. Horses can be simply scanned from the safety of outside the trailer by scanning their nose. After they are scanned, we check off to ensure that they have proper documentation, and then you're on your way to your stalls and your horses are getting a drink of water. No more waiting in line, which typically takes about 10 to 15 minutes per trailer. We can check horses in less than 2 minutes. So it's so much more convenient and also so much less liability on the venues themselves to know that those horses are not bringing in possible disease into that showgrounds or racetrack. We also want to make sure that we are not allowing horses to be stolen out of these venues. And unfortunately, we're seeing this issue worldwide. So if you're able to have horses checked in and checked out of a venue securely, you can make sure that they are coming and going with the people that they are supposed to be with. So let's start taking the guesswork out of this identification, making sure that we are able to first identify the horse, and then second, pull just an unmeasurable amount of data that can be collected for each horse, all simply secured on the cloud and ensured that it is kept safe.
Identification and being able to keep up with the records and those kind of things are so important to keep the racing industry going. So I listened to everybody for years and years and nobody ever did anything. So one day I just decided, we're going to do this, and we went into the process of starting the patent to get the patent on the readers and the Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff. And then it's progressed really well since then. We've been working on it about 3 years now, and we've gone from having real short read ranges to over 1,200 feet. We have it on a tablet, we have it on iPhone or Android. We also have it on the PC, but it's just getting farther and farther ahead. Now with the Safety and Integrity Act coming in, we've been working with some of the guys, some of the investigators across the United States that are involved firsthand with the Safety and Integrity Act. And so we're working with those guys now, and we're having it to where the different portals, so all different portals, so the portals will do a lot of different things, and so we can have information. It not only will cut down on the possibility of cheating by bringing in a ringer, but also they can keep up with the medications, they can keep up with the attending veterinarians, the regulatory bodies. The racetracks like it because of coming in and out of the gates. We can go to big events and where it's taken 6 to 7 hours for horses to come through the gates. We can do that now to where we can cut it down from 9 to 12 minutes per trailer load to less than a minute. If you go with the 15-digit identification number, which is on a microchip, there's no way to ever change that. So especially when doing it with a lip chip where we have less than 1% migration, we can reach that in a trailer, we can reach that in a stall, we can come in, when they come into the gate, there's a lot of horses there's a lot of paperwork with the horses that have to be done, Coggins, pyros, health certificates. And so a lot of times, the guys will let a Coggins expire or a pyro, or maybe they don't have their horses vaccinated. And so with the terror that we've had recently in the industry with the EHV1 positives, there's a lot of guys that don't exactly do it the right way. So doing it this way, we've got the vaccination records on file, we've got the Coggins, we've got the pyros, we've got the health certificates. So if you match that with the unique ID number, there's absolutely no way for them to cheat. That takes the liability off the racetrack, keeps them from ever being having a quarantine barn or shutting horses down. So, they're really interested in this.
So I'm going to walk you through what a racehorse would go through with the chip link system in place. So this horse would be pre-registered before the meet begins so that their authorized veterinarian would have the opportunity to upload a current Coggins, a pyroplasmosis if needed, and also a health certificate. That racetrack would have access to this material so that they could ensure the proper horses were coming onto the backside of the track. So as the horse comes in on their trailer, they are scanned securely so that this data can be unlocked, first to identify the horse, and second to be able to make sure that all their proper documentation is in place. Then once that horse is safely on the backside, they go about their daily routine. They would be scanned whenever they go to the track for authorized work. They would also be scanned when they enter the holding barn. They would be scanned again whenever they enter the paddock. And then they would also be scanned whenever they go to the test barn if they do. So all of these various points of scanning are going to provide just another layer of security and integrity for the trainer, for the owner, and then also for the racetrack. So we're making sure that the correct horse is working. We're making sure the correct horse is racing. And we're also making sure that we don't have any lapse in integrity whenever it comes from getting from that track back to the backside. We also would recommend, and this would be up to the discretion of the venue, that horse would be scanned upon leaving the racetrack. We would be able to see what time they left and to be able to know when that horse actually exited the facility, just in case they didn't make it to their next destination. We would also want to make sure that horse isn't leaving the racetrack for any other reason other than to go to a different venue or to go home. So we really want to make sure that these horses are who they are supposed to be, and that also we're able to track them throughout their various points of performance. We also would love to be able to authorize veterinarians either at the state level here in the US or at the local level that the racetrack or racing commission has authorized to be able to scan the horses as they receive medications on the backside. This means that horse would have the utmost integrity of knowing what the horse has been given before a race, so that we would know if there was an authorized medication, or maybe in some instances there was not an authorized medication and we need to look into that. So this would all be done at the discretion of the venue, and we recommend being able to hold the highest level of integrity for these horses because they are giving us their all in performing, and we want to make sure that we do right by them by keeping them safe. What we want to accomplish is a simple solution that just unlocks so much potential.
The ChipLink system will be coming to a barn near you in 2023. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can also check out our website for updates at www.lipchipllc.com.